All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much. I'm trying to get the stream pulled up on my phone. There we go. So I can see the chat. Yeah, so anyway, as the title says, I'm gonna be ranking this a bunch of sketch comedy shows because my opinions are just the best. As you can see by my trying very very poorly to prop my phone up here. I'm just that smart, so my opinions they really matter. Okay, let me make myself a little smaller real quick. Just a tad. There we go. Okay. That should be good. Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get started and rank these shows. So first, let's start with Tim and Eric Awesome Show. I will say, I haven't watched a lot of Tim and Eric. I know a lot about it though. It's made like a really big impact on pop culture, and it's just I feel like Tim and Eric sketches are like their own genre now. Like I haven't seen that many, but I kind of know like what the vibe is of a Tim and Eric sketch. Like it's its own thing, just because it's made its mark. And for that, even though I haven't seen that much of it, I'm gonna put it in A tier. I think that like just having that big of an impact on pop culture is an A tier. Plus, I think it's Tim Heidecker, the one he's in a lot of stuff, like Master of None, and I think Us. It's just like so good, like so funny in everything he's in. Anyway, I hope you guys are liking all these epic ads we're getting on the side here. I tried to do this in Photoshop, but it kind of failed. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to Comedy Bang Bang. I didn't recognize the thumbnail at first because once again, I'm not like a very active watcher in this show, but I have seen it. I like the format. It's interesting. It's a very like fun format. Um, it's not necessarily my cup of tea, like I've said, but it's interesting. It's quite good. And Weird Al's on it, which is bonus points for me. So I'm gonna give that a B, which is a good grade. That's good. Now Kroll Show. Um, Again, not a very avid viewer of Kroll Show because I love Nick Kroll. I love me some Nick Kroll. I love Big Mouth. Great show. I love everything he's in. He's great, but I will say, not a huge viewer of this show because it ended, but um, before my time. But um, it's Nick Kroll, so you know what? That gets an A because it's Nick Kroll, and that man is just he gets bonus points for me because it's Nick Kroll. As I said, it's Nick Kroll. Come on, what do you expect? Now Mad. Okay, this is not Mad TV. We have Mad TV over here. This is Mad, which if you don't know, because it was a lot less popular than Mad TV. It is a Mad was it was like Robot Chicken for children, but it was still kind of edgy, like for a children's show. It was on Cartoon Network, and it was just like a sketch show. And I grew up watching that. I think I watched that, and then I started watching Mad TV because I was curious, like of the of what they did in the past after watching this one as a kid. Um, it was a little. I think it fell flat at times. Um, but I really like the format because like the art style changes throughout the sketches, and it just like it had a really good format because it would I think always start off with like a movie parody, and then it would end with a TV show parody, and then in between it would just be full of like a bunch of little individual sketches, much like Robot Chicken. But the art style was more varied, which was cool. Um, Now, but I will say, out of all these shows, it was good. It's a good show in general, I think. But out of these sketch shows, I think it's gonna like it's okay compared to these fellas. Not very good compared to everything else we have here. I think you should leave. Now that's like the quintessential sketch comedy show. If you wanna any like sketch show, I'm a firm believer that I think you should leave is I think it's definitely S tier. I like, dude. I had never even heard of this guy before the show. Tim Robinson, I believe. And man, that show is just it's so good. It's so good because just the writing, like, and the format's so good because it's each episode is only like 15 minutes, I think, maybe 20. And it doesn't waste any time. Like it just there's no filler. Every sketch is just so good. It reminds me, it's like quite similar to Key and Peele, like the energy they had, except I think the energy is maybe a bit better because they don't do like the cuts to the like audience crowd. Anyway, moving on. Saturday Night Live, the big boy here. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think SNL gets a D tier. And here's the thing. I love me some SNL. Don't get me wrong. But think about this. You watch an entire SNL episode, and there's maybe one or two sketches that like stand out to you that are great, and then a few that are like pretty good, and then the rest like kind of fall flat, maybe like half. And then there's like musical guest twice in an episode, and it's just like come on, it just feels outdated at this point. Like it's done a lot of good for sketch shows as a whole, but it just feels so outdated at this point. It's like, yeah, they do a lot of good stuff, but it's just there are so many shows nowadays where it's like the formatting is just more suited for what we need today, and it just allows for this quick flow of like great sketch after great sketch. And I get like the charm of it is that it's live and that it's kind of like on the spot, improvise. I get it, but just for my personal taste. I also have a bone to pick with them because they cut such great sketches for these political satires, which it just gets so old. It just feels like it's repeating the same joke over and over again. And that's coming from me. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. That's why, as a whole, SNL is a pretty good show, I think. But I mean, compared to all these, I don't think it really compares. That's a cool thing I just said. Key and Peele. Key and Peele's great. It's just like I'm not a very big fan of the little like audience interactions they do. I think I don't know. It just feels a little like very unnecessary. But it's just every sketch is gold, and like their pacing, their writing, and both of them like it's so interesting because after the show, both of them have gone on like pretty different paths. I mean, sort of. Um, but they've just both like excelled after the show in their careers. So, but yeah. Anyway, it's great. Great show. Key and Peele gets Key and Peele gets A because it's just not on par with I Think You Should Leave, but it's pretty great. Now Chappelle's show. Dave Chappelle, I've seen a lot of his stand up. It's very funny. I He's one of those I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but he just has a very interesting perspective on things. Um, as for his show, though, I think he's a talented guy. He's very funny. Good writer. Um, I don't love it. It's maybe not exactly my cup of tea. So I think it's gonna get. We're gonna give Chappelle Show a B. It's a B tier. Chappelle Show B tier. No, Mad TV. I like Mad TV quite a bit. It's pretty, yeah. I haven't seen it in quite a while, so I don't know if this is super fair. I mean, this whole thing kind of isn't fair because I've basically been saying how little I've seen a lot of these shows, but um, I think I'm gonna give Mad TV a C tier, and that's only because I like what they do a lot. But the live sketch format is just like it because timing is everything, and you can't edit to fix time like pacing issues in comedy, and it's just like I'm not a huge fan of the live performances. Moving on to Inside Amy Schumer, which you guys are. I mean, I know everyone has that lust for hating her, but I I think the show's okay. I do know it based on things I've seen. It seems like a lot of the jokes are like recycled or stolen, which kind of sucks. But I think the format is good, and like I think um, as a performer, she's not bad. I think her writing just needs a lot of improvement. And I also don't think it's fair to put her above SNL either because SNL definitely has better writing. So I think she's gonna get a D tier. And no, that brings us to Robot Chicken. Like I said, Mad was like kind of similar. It was just like a children's version. Um, I think it doesn't really hit for me. Like the format just it feels not super like a sketch show should just be super open to like different formats. I feel like, and I think maybe like the animation style of Robot Chicken just gets kind of old for me. But I think it's very funny and clever and interesting visually, definitely. So I think Robot Chicken's gonna get a C. Um, yeah. Now moving on to Portlandia. Another thing. So like as you noticed, I've been saying that like the ones I don't like as much are the ones with less I guess variety variety. Well, yeah, because that's like the whole point of a sketch show, right? And for example, like Key and Peele, you know, they do like songs. They do. I mean, that's not a. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like they have more. They're just a lot more. They just do so much. Like in their, they just have variety. That's the word I'm looking for. They just have a lot of variety in their writing and comedy and the way they present everything. Like it's just very visually interesting. And I'm saying that because I think Portlandia, and you know, it's very funny. Like it sticks to the theme. It's got like a the whole setting they stick around, which is I respect that they're able to like write all these different sketches like set around kind of a similar-ish concept of the city. It's good, but it's just like when I watch a sketch show, I want like every single sketch to be like I have no idea what's gonna happen next. Which I know is ironic because I think You Should Leave is just kind of about Tim Robinson being awkward in every sketch, but I feel like he does a really good job at changing it up every time. And Portlandia, it does a good job with variety, but I think it's still maybe not enough, which is why I'm going to give it a C, which is not bad. Keep in mind that these are not like as TV shows, but these are just in comparison to these sketches overall. So yeah, that's my sketch comedy tier list because I know everyone was just dying to know. Thanks for tuning in, and as I always say on my channel, don't cyberbully people. Because when you cyberbully someone, you're really only cyberbullying yourself. Ryan's Productions out.